The thing about Chelsea is life is never boring. Hey chaps, welcome back to properchels.tv, your one-stop Chelsea news channel. I'm your host, as always, Logan Blue. Now, in today's episode, we get to dive into the Leicester versus Chelsea game. But before we jump into that, I just want to walk you through how I'm looking at restructuring the pod. So basically what I'm trying to do is to break down the actual podcast into 4 sections, okay? I want to give it a bit more structure. That way, I can then dissect it into YouTube Shorts based on individual sections of the content, as opposed to just like a rambling stream of consciousness, which is pretty much what I've been doing up to now. Okay, so we're going to break it down into 4 sections, right? The first one is Chelsea news. That's just going to cover off any news, information, gossip, player transfers or transfer speculation when the silly season comes around for that. We're also then going to go on to the form guide, which will look at the form of both Chelsea and the team that we're playing that particular week, obviously in this case Leicester. Then we'll jump into the team selector and we'll finish off with the score prediction. So yeah, I figure if we break that down into 4 sections, it'll make the video a lot more structured. And not that there's anything wrong with kind of the stream of consciousness kind of videos, because a lot of Chelsea, podcasts and YouTube channels do that. So that's fine. But I figure if I break it down into 4 sections, it'll be easier to break down into YouTube Shorts, because then I'm thinking of doing some shorts to put that out there, and it'll be a lot easier to do if everything is broken down into an individual kind of section. Compartmentalizing the whole, and I also I think the videos will be a bit shorter and a bit more to the point, which is never a bad thing. Okay. So let's just jump into what Chelsea news has been doing the rounds since we last spoke. Right. Chelsea news. So, Nkunku. Nkunku has been unhappy, apparently, or is unhappy, apparently, with his lot at Chelsea. Remember when we bought him, I guess, to be our number 9. He may have been the first purchase of the new owners. Can't remember because we spent over £1 billion stockpiling players since they took over 2 years ago. But we bought Nkunku. He was he won Player of the Year in the Bundesliga in Germany. He was just scoring goals for fun. We bought him. He comes to Chelsea. Has a great preseason, then gets injured, and pretty much we don't see him for the rest of the season. So his first season was a complete write-off, which I'm not. Obviously, he wouldn't have wanted that, but I'm not really, too fussed about his getting injured, because there's nothing he can do about that. It is what it is, right? Especially a long-term injury like he had. So he comes back. And when he comes back, everybody says, Nkunku is, our best finisher. Okay. Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. I'd argue that maybe Palmer is our best finisher. But anyway, so Nkunku has come out recently, or certainly through the French press, and saying that he's, well, I don't know if he's actually, I haven't read any actual quotes from him, but basically he's grumpy. He's unhappy with his game time. My thoughts on that is that he's our top scorer because he plays in the Conference League, which is like a farmers league for a team of Chelsea's stature. So he scores for fun and does a lot of stat padding, by just racking up goals against teams that are, my nana could score against, right? But you can only beat the team you're playing, so more power to him. But anyway, he's doing well. But the odd chance he's had in the Premier League, he's hardly set the world alight. We played a kind of B team against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup and lost 2-0, and he was awful. He started, he had the whole stage to himself, and he was just like so many other players on that night, just invisible, right? So my thoughts on the Nkunku situation is that, hey, look, you're grumpy, deal with it. You get paid £190,000 a week, right? Fight for your place, and you'll get your chance. And if you get your chance, take it, and then you'll stay in the team, right? Same advice we'd give to any player. He's a slightly older player, so but if we do end up buying a striker, right, in the summer, then I think he'll be sold because he's not going to be happy being third choice. That's for damn sure. And if we buy Victor Osman or someone who's going to be first choice, yeah, he's going to be well down the pecking order. Right? And he's already down the pecking order, right? So the other piece of news is Reece James being injured. Now, Reece James, of course, is our team captain. We love Reece James. He's one of our own. However, he's a sick note player for many seasons now. He's on £240,000 a week, £250,000 a week. He got his deal, before the new wage structure was imposed by the new owners. And we can't keep basically paying £240,000 a week for a guy that appears 5 games a year, 10 games a year, right? They always say the best ability is availability, and he is never available, right? And when he is available, he's a shadow of his normal self, right? The Reece James we love is kind of the wing back, which we do not play, and he's a very good defender. He really is a very good right back, right? But he's brilliant at bombing forward. Now, with his hamstrings being, made of, I don't know, string, he doesn't bomb forward anymore. So we've got him basically as a right back. What the manager Enzo wants him to do, or wants the right back to do in the formation that we play, is to be able to bomb forward or invert, right? And often invert either into midfield or into the number 10, like a or 8 to 10 kind of position, depending on where we are in the field and what state of the attack it is. He can't do that. I mean, he can invert, but that's about it. He doesn't bomb forward. And Gusto is very good, but he's just rubbish in front of goal. He's like Makaleli sort of level, shooting. So my thoughts on Reece James boil down to one. This is his last season at the club, unless he can play a solid 4 or 5 months. Okay, and two, my heart goes out to him because his talent is world class, and he is world class, but ultimately he doesn't have the body to sustain a top level, Premier League footballer. So I think at the end of the season we have to, cut bait if it doesn't improve, and obviously we all, hope and pray that it does. Okay, so right, let's jump into the form guide. This is interesting. So the form guide for Chelsea versus, or Leicester versus Chelsea. I'll put it up on the screen now. All right. So as you can see here, if you look at Leicester, right, their last match they lost 3-0 to Man United. Okay, that was awful. But that's the new manager bounce of Man United. They drew 1-1 with Ipswich, who, like them, came up from the Championship last season. They lost 3-1 to Nottingham Forest, who have been on a bit of a tear, punching above their weight. They beat Southampton 3-2. I guess is that AFC Wimbledon? That one there, the second last one. But in the league, it's Bournemouth. Sorry, AFC Bournemouth. Apologies. I thought maybe they had some sort of League Cup results in here too, but this is just the Premier League. And then lost to Arsenal. Basically, they've lost, drawn, lost, 1-1, lost. So the last 3 matches were a loss, draw, loss. Right? Now Chelsea, who are sitting third in the league, right? That's all well and good, but our form has not been great. Yes, we've had a very tough run, but we haven't exactly been, knocking the ball out of the park, to indulge in a baseball analogy. But yes, so we drew against Arsenal 1-1. We drew 1-1 against Man City. We That's not Man City, Manchester United. Sorry, we beat Newcastle 2-1. That was a good win, like that. And we lost against Liverpool. Many say we played better than them, but what is it? Jose used to say, you can have the ball, I'll go home with the 3 points. So if they played worse than us, they still got the 3 points, and we never looked like scoring. We drew 1-1 with Nottingham Forest. We should have won that game, and we beat Brighton 4-2. Good, convincing win there. But recent form is draw, win. Okay, let's jump into the team selection. Right, here we go. So this is the team that I'm picking, and the formation, which is a different formation, but one I think would be able to get more attacking players on the field. And I suspect we won't need a lot of defend. We won't get to do a lot of defending in this game. They'll sit deep in a low block and attempt to hit us on the break. And if Vardy is on the pitch, now he's been a sub, quite a bit, but if he's their starting, striker, he's still good and he's still fast, but he's not fast like he was when he was 28, right? He's 38 now. So I suspect it'll be a very easy day for our defenders. So I've got Sanchez in goal, because we haven't basically got anyone else to pick. Otherwise, no doubt I would pick them. Cucurella at left back, he's been fantastic, just slotted straight back into the team, was brilliant. Colwell Fofana, again, as long as they're both fit. There is some rumors that maybe Fofana is struggling with a knock or something on international duty. And same with Gusto. There's a bit of a rumor that he may or may not be starting, right? But we've got to hope that he's fit, because we don't really have anyone else, because James is out, definitely out. Okay, so it's our standard back four of Cucurella, Colwell, Fofana, Gusto. Now I've gone for a 4-1-4-1 formation here, right? And Cucurella will invert into the midfield to make it a 2 when we need to, right? But I think Caicedo, even though he and Enzo, etc., come back from long international flights, he'll probably only be in the country one day. But because he's Caicedo and he's kind of got an engine like Essien used to have, I suspect he will still play. And if we are 2 or 3 up or something, the manager will take him off and bring on somebody else at the 60-minute mark, right? But I think we'll start with him, and I think we only need one pivot in this, right? This allows us to have Neto on the right, right? Sancho on the left. I'm hoping Sancho is back and up to speed again. We don't know what the injury was, such as it was, but whatever it was, let's hope that it's gone now, because he's missed basically a month and a bit of football after starting so promisingly, right? But so Sancho on the left, Neto on the right, which is Madueke deserves to be dropped because he's been just pants recently, right? Palmer in the 10, but also I've got Felix in the 10. Felix played for Portugal. It was pretty much a dead rubber. But he scored. He played very well by all accounts. I didn't see the match, but from what I read, he played very well. He scored, and again, you can only beat the team that you're playing against. So he's on some very good form for us in our B team. And if we are going to stick an extra striker or an extra attacker in there, I think Felix will be my pick. Now, of course, you could have Nkunku, because Nkunku is best probably in an old-fashioned 4-4-2, playing in the the Good Johnson role, with Jackson being the Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank type of 4-4-2, which nobody plays anymore. But because it's not really a 4-4-2, it's a 4-1-4-1, and it's a lot of midfield work to do. I suspect that Felix would be better fit. So Palmer and Felix causing mayhem and mischief in the center, and Jackson peeling off the shoulder of their last defender, on all the intelligent through balls, right? So I think that's a really good team. I do. I mean, like I said, notwithstanding Sanchez, right? But a 4-1-4-1 against a team that, is just pants at the minute, and they will be in a relegation battle. They're probably, nobody's, too good to go down or too big a team to go down. Yeah, that's rubbish, because obviously many a big team and many a good team has just been sucked down the drain. They were spiraling, all season. Get sucked down in the last like couple of weeks, and suddenly they're relegated. But anyway, so I think Leicester will be in the relegation there or thereabouts in the relegation battle. So we should comfortably beat them, I believe. But okay, so on that, that's like I said, I think that's a good team, and an attacking team, and enough defensive solidity to deal with what they have, because they've got a lot of injuries, and their attack is kind of very much a makeshift attack for them, and their attack isn't that great to start with. So okay, so to the score prediction, right? So my score prediction for this match, we are away, okay, as you know, to Leicester. So my score prediction is, because I do think it'll be, quite an easy day at the office for the team. I think it's going to be Leicester 0, Chelsea 3. I think we'll score early, right, which means they have to come out. We'll pick them off. We'll have 2 in the bank by half time. And in the second half, we really should, get another couple, 2, 3 goals. But Enzo doesn't seem very good at going for the jugular, like someone like Pep is, right? When he smells blood in the water, he just takes the reins off and says, go to town, son. To the players, but I think we'll get another one, somewhere on the break, somewhere during the second half. So I think a nice, comfortable day at the office. Leicester 0, Chelsea 3. Okay, then, that's all the news that's fit to print, and quite a bit that isn't. As always, thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and God bless, look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.